Go.
All right.
Hey. All
Hey,
right. Hey, everybody. May the 4th be with you today.
may the fourth
Happy
be
May
with you.
4th.
Raider Nation in the building. Happy May
Yes,
4th, Raider
yes.
fans. This is our
Happy May
day.
4th to all. We appreciate you for tuning in. We've got a great guest coming up. We just wanted to say a quick shout out. If you're watching the show, if you end up catching it later, feel free to watch the recap. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And we appreciate everybody. We've got a bunch of stuff to talk about. We're going to do like a little NFL draft recap at the end, towards the end of the show. We'll do our usual hot topics, some sneaker drops, but first and foremost, we got to get our special guest on because we know she's very busy and it's about to be the start of the season. So please, if everybody could please welcome the president for the Las Vegas Aces, Nikki Fargas. Thank you so much, Nikki, for joining us.
Oh, thank you guys. I'm excited to be on here.
We're excited. We love,
Yes.
obviously, we're women that love sports, and we also love women who are in sports. I mean, having known that you came so far, we definitely want to get your journey. I mean, just starting off from playing college ball, next step, and cut to you being the president of a WNBA team. Like, what was that journey like? What were your steps in getting there? And tell
And
us
she
about
played
it.
with Pat Summit. She played for
I
Pat Summit, and
know,
she was
played
assistant coach
and
for Pat. Like,
coached.
it's so
Yes.
much that we have to go into and unpack with you. I don't even know an hour would do it justice. I don't think 20 minutes would do it justice. But if you can just give us a good rundown of the highlights of being a Lady Vol and all of that, your LSU years, your UCLA years, like you got so much. So yeah,
Oh my
let's get
gosh.
into that.
Yeah, you just reeled them off really fast. So, I played for Pat Summit. So that in it of itself was an amazing experience. And I will tell you, I did not like being on the stair. Like that, those ice blue eyes piercing at you will cut you. So I tried to stay in her good grace as a player. So she believed in the definite dozen, and that's something that I hold true with me today. If you don't know about it, please look up what the definite dozen is. It's a code of conduct. It's a way of living. It's part of my culture that she created for me as an athlete, as a mom, as a businesswoman. I mean, it is really just simple respect, loyalty, responsibility, make hard work your passion. I mean, all of these things, we just implemented it in how we played. So we were able to be successful there, winning national championships, and I got a chance to be on her staff. So I got to see the behind the scenes of what it takes to not only run a program, but be successful as an entrepreneur, be successful as a mother, a wife, and obviously as a head coach. And so through that journey with Pat Summit, it led me to Virginia as an assistant coach. And then it led me to, I started as assistant coach with Virginia. Then I went back to Tennessee. And then I got my first head coaching opportunity at UCLA. So here's this little girl from Oak Ridge, Tennessee, little small town. And I know a lot of people don't even know where Oak Ridge, Tennessee is, but I got a chance to go and experience the world through basketball. And so when I went to UCLA, I was like, oh my God, so this is LA, all the stars, the Hollywood, and it is so expensive there. I will tell you that right
Yeah.
now. But the weather is amazing. So UCLA was successful there, got a chance then to go back to the SEC and kind of where my roots
Mm-hmm.
are. So I was at LSU for 10 years. And so I just knew, Mel and Mo, that I would give 25 years of coaching to the game. I was going to coach for 25 years, and I almost made it. And then this opportunity came by. Came about. I didn't know what I was going to do after I finished coaching. I just knew I was going to do something. And so when Mark Davis, the owner of the Raiders and owner of the Aces, he flew to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He and Larry Delsey.
Wow.
Okay.
And we talked on the
Yes.
phone. We had a conversation on the phone, and then he said, I want to visit with you." And I said, "Well, you know what? I got to go to a wedding. I mean, I actually went to a funeral." And I said, "I
Hmm.
can come to Vegas the following week." He goes, "No, we'll come to you." And I was like, "Okay, that's a good sign." So we had an unbelievable visit, and within 72 hours, I said, "I'm going to leave coaching." I had a very talented LSU team, and my niece actually was playing for me, Kayla
Okay.
Pointer, and one of the best players in the SEC. I knew we could do some great things that year, but this was an opportunity I could not pass up.
Yeah.
And so fast forward,
Wow.
here I am, a year, almost a year. Tomorrow will be the 1 year. 1 year ago, I signed my contract with the Aces, and I can't believe how fast it has gone. I mean, it has zoomed by, but excited about the upcoming season. Team leaves tomorrow, heading to Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of the quick version of how I got here.
Yeah. It's
so
amazing.
you didn't like you weren't out there looking for it. It just kind of came to you, the president of a WNBA team. So that's just phenomenal and stuff that speaks highly for you. I'm sure your resume and your work ethic for, especially for Mark Davis to come out and fly out and to come to you. I mean, hey, that's they want you. They want you.
Yeah, they do. It says a lot. And you being LSU, sister school to Southern University, where I attended. Shout out Baton Rouge. What was it like being in that? Because you were a girl from the South anyway, and then to go from the West Coast back to the South, how was that kind of dichotomy switch of seeing how Southern living is as opposed to West Coast living? Was there any kind of adjustment, or was it like you just feeling your roots all over again with these girls?
Sports is transformational in so many ways. But I have been exposed to the West Coast by playing against Stanford. I know when I was at Tennessee and when we coached, Coach Summit would play everybody and anybody on any given day just to grow the game. And we would travel to the West Coast. We traveled to Stanford. We might get them this year. They might get us the next year. So I was familiar with West Coast. And then UCLA, obviously Billy Moore was Pat's mentor, and Billy Moore was the head coach at UCLA for a long time and coached the 70, I want to say 76. But Billy Moore is someone who I got to meet and get to know by being a camp director. She would come back and she would be like the guest lecturer at Pat Summit's camps. And Pat Summit's camps really was a opportunity for high school, college coaches to come and learn and make and build relationships and network. And Pat would be the first one to put her name on a resume and say, hey, yes, you can use my name on your resume, or who do you need me to call? And so there were so many of us who played for Pat, or either were managers or scout team members who have gone on to coach. But there are also a lot of coaches who would come to her camps to learn. And they also went on to expand their coaching career by just her recommendation. So I think the thing that I will take with me, whether I'm on the West Coast or in the South, is just how we treat people. I mean, it was no different going West Coast, and then how I also treated other people. But I'm the one that will invite you to my home and let's cook and all those things. So I'm very open home policy, no matter where I'm at.
What you be cooking, Nikki? What you cooking in the kitchen, girl?
You know what? I cook everything. Like you name it, I can cook it. One of my favorite, I did a twist. So on Louisiana, I did like this little twist on like kind of how I would make my gumbo. But I would also use like chicken stock in my gumbo. And I love seafood.
Me too.
It's nothing like having I eat rice and anything with rice. I mean, I'm big on that. But my daughter is really the cook in the family, and she's only 10.
Yeah, that's great.
Wow,
that's great. Yeah, that's really good.
Has there been like a team dinner at all? Are you bringing the team over for a nice down south meal?
Well, I haven't brought this team. We're still in training camp, so this isn't the final roster yet. But we're still waiting for a few of our players to come from overseas. But once the season gets started, we definitely want to have a private dinner for the team somewhere. But no, I have not had them at the house yet. But I, as a college coach, you could do an occasional meal, occasional.
Okay.
And so I love cooking for my players, because they're away from home and some of them don't even know how to cook. And so it was nice to be able to give them a home cooked meal every now and then.
Right. Right.
For sure. Oh my gosh. So just bringing it back though to bring the president of Las Vegas is what does that role what does that engulf for you? What's that position entail? Because I know some people are probably like, well, we know what the coach is, we know what the GM pretty much is, but what is the president doing for the Las Vegas Aces? What's your role?
It's a lot of different hats, but first and foremost, it's being of service to this community. I will say that the Las Vegas Aces, our ability to impact the lives of those who we come in contact with, or who watch us, or hear us, or listen to us, that's number one. The other thing we want to do is be intentional on standing behind and using our platform to support issues and support change. And as the W, we will stand up for what is right. And I think we have to do that. Obviously, I have an unbelievable staff with me now. Matt Delson is my COO and CFO. And then I also was intentional on making sure that we hired those who have paved the way, those who have put their blood, sweat, and tears into the WNBA, and my front office represents that. I hired Jennifer Azzi, who was in business development at her previous position, and I hired her as my chief of business development with the Aces. Why not? I mean, she's smart, she's beautiful, she's brilliant. I mean, and played basketball. And so Natalie Williams also is my general manager, who played in the W. But they all are, both of them, and Becky Hammon, obviously the great coach. All three of them. Either they played for Utah, San Antonio. So Utah and San Antonio, we had this alumni initiative last year. Mark Davis was intentional in bringing back all the alums who played either 5 minutes or 5 years for either Utah or San Antonio. So when they came back, I developed all these great relationships, but I also knew a lot of the faces. I either tried to sign them, or I recruited and tried to recruit them, or I played against them and they either beat my teams or we beat them. But Becky, we had a chance to retire her jersey, or let me just say, not retire. Her jerseys was retired. It just didn't have a home. Okay. So we did a ceremony where her jersey is now hanging in the rafters of Michelob Ultra Arena.
Nice.
Yes.
But Jennifer, when she came to visit, we both, I'll tell you this, you may know this already. Jennifer and I are from the same little small hometown.
Wow. No, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. She's a little bit older. So we never got to play with each other growing up. But I've always followed Jennifer's career. And so when she came back, and we just kind of was like, yeah, have you been to Big Ed's Pizza? We just started talking about some of these places that we used to go where we grew up. So that's how it started with me building this. I got a championship team. I hope we're trying to shut down the Strip. Okay.
We're all waiting for it. We are all waiting for it.
Let's manifest it. The prayer is working.
Yes. But I also have a championship front office. So just really excited about that too.
Yeah. And it's great that you have so many diverse, but also a lot of women in your front office that you may not see even within the WNBA, which is amazing, I think, and a great experience for the Aces itself. So it's just amazing that you help make those choices. And we're all excited to see what this season comes. Like you mentioned, me and Mo have been talking about the girls bringing the first championship to Vegas for 4 or 5 years, 4 years now.
We've been saying it.
Going on 5. We're waiting. We're waiting.
We have the pieces, and we knew that there were different things that were playing in the factors with it. A lot of things changed. COVID happened. I mean, had a lot of situations and scenarios, but I think with you guys getting the acquisition of Becky, and I really want you to talk about how that came about too, because there's no limit to this woman. I've seen her in summer league when she was coaching for the Spurs team out here in Vegas. She definitely deserved a chance in the NBA, but I think the golden opportunity of having her be a face of our franchise, as well as being in this WNBA space, is truly amazing. How did that come about, and what do you see as far as the vision for this team with Becky so far?
Well, Becky Hammon resonates not only in women's basketball, but obviously what she's been able to do on the men's side. And when we talk about growing the game, to have a person of Becky's caliber to go into a space, which is the NBA, and basically let them know I'm just as good.
Right.
And in some instances, even better. And so for us to make change happen, I think sometimes for women, we've got to be, and we talk about this, you got to be twice as good.
Right.
And I think she's 6-7 times as good.
Mhm.
So we wanted to bring the best coach to the Aces, and Becky Hammon was it. And Bill Lambier, let me just say this, for 20 plus years, he has been committed, devoted, a champion for this league.
Mhm.
And we had a lot of conversations about, who we would bring in once he retired. And he was in 100% agreement that Becky Hammon would be the best coach for the Aces. And Mark Davis was, we want her. I was like, Mark, I don't know if we can get her. And I go, but I'm going to try. I'm going to really try to get her from the NBA. And we had a great visit when she came in for the retirement of her jersey, or re-retirement. We got to meet, we got a chance to sit down, talk. We shared with her that we want to take the Aces, not only when you say to the promised land, but we want to make sure that the Aces showcases that and continue to showcase that the WNBA has some of the best players in the world. We have 4 on our roster who won gold medals.
Yes.
But they also need to be recognized. They need to be put
Yep.
on. They need to be put on television. They need to be everywhere that a male basketball player is.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I agree.
And we got to say what it is. Like, we need women's basketball to be respected and looked at just like you do men's basketball. At the collegiate level, I did some work with ESPN over the summer. I mean, over the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
And there was over 4 million viewers for the championship game.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So people love basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just need corporate America to recognize the excellence that exists in the WNBA and really come in and say, look, you know what? They're just as good. They should. And so having an owner like Mark Davis, we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of Title IX. Thank you for allowing us to participate. We appreciate that.
Allowing, yes, thank you.
Right.
Appreciate it. But in talking with Mark, he goes, well, now it's not only about participation, it's now about compensation. And so we have to keep moving the women. We have to keep moving the women in a direction that we deserve and should have been given, but because we weren't, we're kind of making sure that everybody knows we're doing it at the Aces. And so that's why we're able to say, yes, Becky Hammon will be the highest paid head coach in the WNBA. And by investing, and that's what Mark did. He invested. Well, you're investing when you purchase a team, but he's invested in making sure that everybody, recognize that this league can attract some of the best coaches, and we already have some of the best players. So we're in a position as the Aces to provide that type of resource financially to really say we stand behind this league. And we're going to show you by recruiting and bringing back some of the players and also coaches like a Becky to elevate this league. And so I think if more people see the league as, wow, you go there to play, go there to coach, go there to work, like it's really a unbelievable enterprise. It really is. If you really think about it in what this league was able to do during the I'm gonna say our second pandemic. So you had our first, our second pandemic, but for them for the W to stand up for social justice, for them to stand up and say, you know what, we do need to use our voice. We do, and they did it They did it in such a classy way. Vote.
Right.
That's all they were saying. Vote.
Right.
Get out there and vote. And I think that was, to me, that sets the tone across the board, because now you're seeing that same type of passion coming from college athletics. These student athletes, they are using their voice.
Yeah.
They are standing up for what's right, and they're creating change. So
yes, and it's good that this league is a league that provides a safe space and allowance to do so.
For
And the fact
sure.
that Mark Davis, and I'm a Raider girl. I don't know if you knew this. I love the Raiders. Your husband he's stud. I remember I've been a Raider girl for years, and Al Davis was always the one. And part of the reason I was a Raiders fan is because he always allowed inclusion. He was the first to do a lot of barrier breaking things. And Mark has done the same thing of passing the torch, of doing that off of his father's legacy. So it came to no surprise to me that he was going to be really invested in this. And not only is he invested in women, but he's invested in being successful. And he's not just
Most
acquiring
definitely.
a team just to have a team and
Right.
say it. You know, he is
Right.
really hands-on. And we were seeing Mark personally at every Aces game.
Mhm.
Every
knowing
game, this man
every
is at
game
half
in life,
court
this man is
watching
sitting
the game.
the
Like,
game.
he's not
And
up in a box. He's not,
no,
taking time. He's there every game,
right.
ready, watching, which
Absolutely.
is amazing.
And it never
Yeah.
dawned on me that it was something that first of all, the Aces were looking for new ownership, and secondly, that he was really the guy that was going to do it. I just,
Mhm.
was thinking, this man really loves basketball. He's loving
Mhm.
WNBA. He is at every game. So it's just very exciting to see, and just the progression of everything, the changes that he's made, even within Raiders organization, this organization. It's been a great thing for me. It's been a great
Yeah.
feeling. And I would
Yeah.
have never seen this coming, being born and raised here in Las Vegas, that we have the team. And the local support for you guys is growing.
Mhm.
Let me just
Yeah.
tell you, it is getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Sunday's game, we're
Yeah.
there. We're gonna see how it
Yes.
goes.
Mother's Day
And
game.
I
Everybody bring your
know.
mom, bring your daughters, bring your kids, whomever.
Yep.
It's Mother's Day. Come celebrate it at Michelob Ultra Arena. Is there anything special? I know that I've read some of the things you guys have coming up for games. There's going to be like a sneaker game, like what are your favorite sneakers, which I think is dope. We're both sneakerheads over here.
Yes.
I know they have like a 90s themed game. They
Yep.
always have such great events, but is there anything that you can think of that you hope, I mean, besides obviously us winning a championship, is there anything that you can hope for or foresee for this season for the ladies?
I think just really when you get to lace those shoes up, and you put that uniform on, these young ladies represent more than the Aces. We represent the Las Vegas community.
Yes.
We represent the state of Nevada. We are bigger than the game, and we're never going to be bigger than the real game that's going on, right? And so to come out and support women's basketball, and especially at this level, you won't be disappointed. We put on a show. The Las Vegas Aces, they are the best. When I say the best, they have clearly proven that they are, because out of all the sports that have been played or participated in the Olympics, women's basketball has won 7 consecutive gold medals, and no other sport has done that. So that is excellence at its best. I can't give you any other example. And then for us to have 4, Kelsey, Asia, Jackie, I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. Right. But I also think that what you also will see in our arena is that we do believe in diversity, equity, and inclusion. We do believe that they will be what they see. So when you do come into our arena, you're going to see all walks of life. One of the things that we did this year is we wanted to, and this was Mark Davis, he said, let's lower the prices of the tickets in our building.
Wow.
85% of our building, 85% of our building, everyone who comes in there, if you want to sit on the lower bowl or upper bowl, 85% of our building, we decrease the ticket price. So you can be a season ticket member. And as you know, being in Mick Ultra Arena, there's no bad seat. So you can be a season ticket member for starting as low as $10. So for $180, you can be a season ticket member. And I don't know if anybody has seen this, but one of the things that we do with our season ticket members is that we have this unbelievable gift. It's and
The
I think it's
box, the box that came out.
Have you seen the box?
Yes,
If
I
you haven't seen the
saw
box,
it.
your 180 is worth the box. But it
Yes.
also, there's other perks with that, becoming a season ticket member. I mean, obviously free parking, that helps a
Right.
lot.
Mhm.
But you
Helps a
also
lot too. Yeah,
it
for
does.
Vegas.
It
Mhm.
does. And then you also get, every season ticket member gets the WNBA. We give them the league pass. So if you're not able to catch a WNBA game in person, you can look at the app and watch us play there too. And then we have all this other perks where we did a draft party with our season
Yeah.
ticket members. We have access, they'll have access to the players. Not only do we do things for courtside club, but also if you sit in a certain area of the arena, the premier seating, we also have kind of like the courtside feeling where at pregame, you can go and get drinks and refreshments and food.
Yes.
And so we're trying to do things in game to make you feel like, you know what, this is pretty awesome. And even to the point of what we're doing with the players' introductions, the activations that we have going, all the giveaways. We're going to have autograph sessions this year with the players. It's just going to be a whole nother layout of how you can really feel like this is your team, because you're going to be able to meet Asia. You're going to be able to meet these players and not just see them on the floor. So I'm excited about
Oh, I love that.
access that we're
love
granting,
it.
but that
Yes.
we're up in everything entertainment wise in that arena too.
I love
And it's
that.
great for the young girls that are out there that are coming to the games, that are getting to see the players, meet the players up front. Like we've seen so many stories about younger, kids getting to meet their idols and helps them getting into sports. I mean, I know a couple girls myself that go to Aces game regularly, started playing basketball because they were watching Aces games, and now they're going to regular, games and getting to see the team. And I think that's amazing. That's amazing for young girls out here, period.
Well, not only young girls, I mean, what about the young boys?
Right.
Yeah, for
you know
Yeah.
what? You'll see. Mel, we took we did this community outreach, and we took some of our Aces gear, and the boys were like, yeah, do you have, can I, not just Kelsey Plum and the ones that they know,
Right.
he's like, can I get Raquana Williams? Can I get her jersey? I mean, they knew the roster. And I was like, look at these little boys
Yes.
over here. Just because you normally hear like LeBron James or
Right.
Michael Jordan, and I see Michael Jordan in the back there, which I love, Michael
Yeah.
Jordan.
Well,
But they're talking about Plum, Hamby, and so
Yeah.
I'm so excited that we now can be in front of people. They can feel us, touch us, and let's get back to that, because the joy of sports, obviously, when you play it, when you watch it, participate, we're living in this month now of Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes.
So I'm glad that we're able to at least give that. That's another outlet for
sure.
people to come and enjoy themselves.
Yeah, definitely.
Amazing. One last question for me, or maybe two, but one, what do you foresee for the future for the team as well as maybe the league? I know that one of the recent hot topics is this seems to be like one of the highest rates of waivers for the WNBA, and we're seeing a lot of talent, not only this organization but a lot of others that have waived top draft picks, third year players, rookie of the years. What do you foresee there being some kind of expansion? Or I know another player had mentioned maybe like a G League kind of stuff. I mean, there's so much talent that's getting put into the league now in so much limited space. Do you see that ever being addressed?
It's being addressed, and we need to make it happen. And I do like the concept of having a G League. I do like the concept of providing more opportunities for players to stay on rosters. So expansion definitely is needed. But with expanding and growing the league, there comes also this financial responsibility.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
so we're going to have to really have a strategic plan on how we're going to do this. I also, and I'll tell you guys this because, I've spent so much time in the collegiate level that March Madness is really where men's and women's basketball make a lot of their money. I mean, it's $1 billion industry, and the television, the media rights, the TV deals, that's where we've got to we've got to have that type of commitment from some of these major networks, and you can see how many people watch and support March Madness. And then that's bringing in all of those commercials and all of those corporate dollars and corporate partners.
Sure.
And now that to me is, we got to create a madness around our playoffs.
Right.
And you know, I don't know, I'm not on any committee. But if I had a magic wand, we just said I have a magic wand. You know, I think you got to also look at, do we blow the league up? Do we then say, you know what, we're going to provide more opportunities, we got to figure out this thing, but also, should we be playing at a different time? You got to look at everything.
Right.
You know, should our sweet spot be where you come off of March Madness and then you're into the WNBA playoffs, and then we are on the front end of the NBA playoffs? Do we live in that space? I just think needs to be a thorough look at all of it.
Yeah.
And not that I have the answers, but
of course
we do need to realize that a lot of talented women's basketball players aren't playing in the W because we don't have enough space for them. We don't have enough, which, when you don't have roster space, you don't have money for them. And so if you do create a G League, how do we fund that? How do we keep our players here in market? Because I think the more that we keep them here, the more we can get them into the community too. And then, so now let's just wrap our arms around our community. Let's just take care of each other, where, you know, players aren't having to decide. I'll be glad, you know, I remember coming out of college and the only option was to go overseas.
Yeah.
There was no league when I got out of college. So I'm dating myself. And now we have a league that gives these women an opportunity to stay home. I just want them to stay home longer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For sure. Oh my gosh. I mean, we know it's all money. I mean, if we could just tweet Elon Musk and have him, you know, drop a couple, like give $1 billion, 1 or 2. That's all we need. You know, that's it. Just, you know, drop
Twitter. Let's just take over on WNBA. Let's invite him. Yeah.
What is it when the NBA or some of those teams are doing those unbelievable, like $24 billion deals? Can we just go 24.5?
Just give us like 1%, like 0.5, like just, you know, a little donation spot here, you know, like, come on. But my last question, because I need to know, I read this in an article from, I don't know how many years ago, but cruising for a cause.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Do you own a motorcycle? Are you out here doing motorcycle trips? Like, this is crazy. I had no idea.
I do own a Harley, and I do ride. I don't ride right now. I haven't ridden in a couple of years. But Holly Warlick, who was the former head coach at Tennessee, we formed a foundation, Champions for a Cause, because we wanted to do something for the Kay Yow Cancer Fund. When Kay Yow was diagnosed, the NC State, the late head coach at NC State, she was diagnosed with cancer. She lost her bout she went 3 rounds with it, 3 tough rounds with it. But when the fund was created, Holly and I were like, well, let's do something to support the fund. Let's do something to support Kay Yow. And at the time, Kay Yow was still with us. She was just, again, battling cancer. So we both love riding motorcycles.
I love it.
So we got this bright idea that we're going to ride our motorcycles, and we're going to ride our motorcycles across country, and we're just going to shame people and giving us money.
Mm-hmm. Like, you weren't just going around the block or through the city. Like, you're making moves across country, which is, I think,
our first ride, you know, Mo and Mel, our first ride, we shipped our bikes out to California. And we rode for 11 days, hardcore riding for 11 days. So we went from California to Tennessee on our motorcycles.
Wow.
We had a convoy, you know, Chad, Tim, like our guys, they were kind of leading us. And then we had several women riding. And then Tracy, who was a booster of ours, she had, we traveled like a convoy. she had an RV with the trailer on the back, and she was wheeling that thing like she was, going to be in a movie or something. But we literally would pick every summer somewhere else to go. So we've gone from Tennessee to New York, and Robin Roberts, we called her and we were telling her about what we were doing. And so she got us on her show that morning.
Nice. That's great.
Yeah. I mean, we rode Niagara Falls. We rode down to Key West. I mean,
oh my gosh.
That's great.
Yeah. So many people along the way were so generous. We would go to biker bars and people would say, hey, we'll give you a percentage of our proceeds tonight, in your fight against cancer. Or
I love it.
Harley Davis was a good partner of ours. And it was just a way for us to say, you know what, we're in this fight with you, so
that's awesome.
I love
it really is. That's truly
it tickled me when I saw it, because my dad was a Harley guy, so I'm just like, no way. I just didn't picture. When I see your pictures and I see your interviews, I'm like, no way she's riding Harleys out here. Yeah. Oh, I love it.
I also had those stickers, right, on my Scully, my helmet. And I would get stickers that, I wouldn't even tell my 10-year-old daughter what her mom had on her.
It's the biker life, right? The biker life.
What's the jacket looking like? I know you had a fabulous jacket. What's the jacket?
It was the fashion part of it. Oh
yes. Let's talk about the fashion piece. That leather, honey.
I know you had the leather. I definitely wore the leather jacket that matched the bike. And then I would wear, I had my blue jeans on, and this is when I was before being a mom. So I remember putting my boots on, and I had this thing about, you know what? I need boots that go up to close to my knees.
Right.
So I'm on my Harley. So you would see this 6-foot black woman on a Harley. And I had my glasses on my skull. And then I had my boots, my leather Harley boots that came up. You could tell. And then, you know what? You couldn't see much, but I would definitely be having my lipstick on. So.
Okay.
Oh my God.
You gotta keep it glam. I mean, that's the rule, of course. Yeah.
But there's so many cute outfits, your jackets but your tops and. Oh yeah, I did have my leather chaps though too.
Okay. Yes.
With the jeans on though, I wore jeans and my chaps. Okay.
See, they used to need to have a bike night now. You're going to have, a free ticket for whoever's buying in there. Yeah.
Yes, a ride down the strip, a night ride. Yeah. Bring it back.
I might need you to come over to our marketing team.
Bring it back. Bring it back. I'd love to see a night ride.
We'd love to
down
see
the strip.
We'd love
to see it.
But we really appreciate you being on here. We appreciate you taking the time out of a busy schedule. Again, the ladies their first game is on Friday against the Mercury in Phoenix. They return back home to Las Vegas on Sunday for their home opener on Mother's Day. So it's gonna be really exciting.
Aces.
Yes. Well, there we go. Yes. But is there anything else that you need to let us know? Season tickets are still available. People can still go to the website, purchase season tickets, get all the freebies that come with it. Is there anything else that we should know before season starts?
Just get tickets, the team, but obviously we're gonna keep Brittney Griner and her family.
Yes, absolutely.
Because we play at Phoenix on Friday. So it just puts everything in perspective as well.
I know it's gonna be tough.
But Sunday, with it being Mother's Day, a special day for so many moms and so many dads. And I'm excited that we as the Aces have moms and moms who are moms and moms who are married to moms and dads. And again, I keep going back to this. I want our front office, I want our team to reflect how we want society to be, but also how we want to treat each other.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's a great ending. I love it.
Yes. Thank you so much, Nikki.
Yes. And Nikki, I'm a gumbo queen in my own home family household. So little tips and trades. We have to talk. Trades and Southern recipes. I'm from Southern roots. I know how it is. So to have your daughter in the kitchen at 10 was the same way my mom, shout out to my mom, had me at 12, made me a cook to this day. So keep up the good work with that and with the Aces and everything that you do.
And we'll see you this season. We'll see you out there.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, let's go.
Let's go.
All right.
All in.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nikki.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Oh, what an wonderful
man.
person, and what a great interview.
Amazing.
Thanks to
And if that don't
everybody who
make you
chimed
just
in.
want to be out there and coming to the games. First of all, let's just talk about this real quick, because every year for season ticket holders for like the Vegas Golden Knights, whether good or bad, they keep going up. Our Aces season tickets just went down, and they're good. Like, they've continued to push playoffs. They've continued to make it so far, and our season tickets are going down. So that means people have the time and the opportunity to get out there. Miss Bolland, shout out to you. I didn't want to cut Nikki off, but we've seen your comments. We believe you. It's a lot of great stuff. It's a lot of good stuff out there.
The Aces are all-time high, but see, again, it goes back to Mark Davis of the man who he is and who his father was. I'm telling you, his man was always about the inclusivity of having first of minorities in positions for the Raiders. So comes to no surprise that you get the best of the best for something you care about. He's a lover of the WNBA, and it's showing. And for her to manifest a championship, I do believe with this team and with our coach, Becky Hammon, we will be champions. We will.
Yes.
Listen, I see that.
Women are going to be walking down that Las Vegas Boulevard with the championship before anybody else.
Hey,
that's it.
I agree.
That's it.
I agree.
That's it.
I agree. Followed by the Raiders following season. Yeah, I agree. But this is the thing.
It just snuck that one in there.
Yeah, of course we had to sneak it in. What are you talking about?
Okay. I'm supporting you. I'm supporting y'all to do that. Go ahead.
I Justin. Listen, we know. The good thing about this too, and a good takeaway from it, is that she has herself the vast experience to be in the position that she's in. To the fact that you played with Pat Summitt and coach with Pat Summitt. I mean, like, not only
can you just all that you have absorbed over all this time with her?
You've got input. You've got
one
input.
Of the greatest.
Yeah, you've got input, and you've got knowledge behind you, and you've got say so, and you actually can break down a team and know what the key pieces are that are missing from the team, and acquiring what type of coaching style you need, and those conversations she was saying she was having. It's just awesome. Man, I look forward
to this so much community involvement with the team. We've always talked about how they've gone to the different schools in the community, and they've been, like you said, giving out stuff with the boys, loving to get the players' names and the jerseys. Like, this is all just phenomenal. I mean, if you're not hyped for this season, then maybe you shouldn't be watching us, because we're going to be hyped all season long.
We really are. We really are. Shout out to everybody that
support support a WNBA team, period. We just prefer the Aces, but we would prefer if everybody just had a team.
But I think it's coming into that thing where I'm starting to see a lot of males. She made a great valid point about the boys being excited about seeing girls basketball. She made a very valid point with that, because I'm also starting to see men now get involved in WNBA and actually now attending games and focusing on the sport. And now that it's televised more than it ever has been, I think it's getting some of its just due. And hopefully,
I know the games are on Facebook. They got some Facebook, NBA, ESPN.
I mean, the fact that you can get league pass being a season ticket holder is just amazing.
That's like $100 and something dollars. Itself.
And they're paying for that. That's insane. That's insane to me, and it's great. There's
for anyone that is watching too, Mo, I want you to. So the WNBA has, like we talked about before, has a fantasy basketball league. So I'm going to start a league. I want Mo to come on there. I've already invited. If anybody is watching the show and wants to join the Girl Chat Sports WNBA League, please send us a DM, send us an email at girlchatsports.com so that we are girlchatsports@gmail.com so that we can battle. Right now I have it for 8. We can make it, I think, up to like 10 players. There could be like a draft. If you can make it, great. If not, auto pick is yours. But let's just get down. Let's have fun with this league, because there's been so much movement. I think it would help all of us to reacclimate ourselves with who's where and who's still where, and
get into the game.
Pick up. Yes, definitely. Yes.
Game.
Games on Twitter too. So that's dope.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. So let's get into there's a couple hot topics. The Met Gala just took place. That was entertaining. There was a lot to see. There was a lot of interesting costumes. I won't even costumes, but I guess so. The Met Gala's theme was gilded glamour. I wasn't quite sure what that meant, but I know you, as the fashionista, of course, would be understanding of there was a gilded glamour age of fashion that took place. But some of the sports stars that were around, of course, Venus Williams, Chloe Kim, D Wade, and Gabrielle Union showed up. I thought Gabrielle Union's dress was beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And then of course you've got I think it's Houston or Huston. He's
Huston,
a skateboarder. Yeah, Olympic
Mhm.
skateboarder. And of course, Russell Westbrook, he probably can't pass up any time to put a skirt on.
He really can't. He really can't.
He's
It's
ready
not
for
even
it.
about the skirt for me. It's the top hat for me, and seeing a lot of the men behind him with the top hats and stuff.
Oh
But that
yeah,
was
they did.
Gilded Age. I
The
like
gilded,
that.
the
top
gilded, yeah. The
I like
Gilded Age, yeah.
I like the top hat thing. But yeah, he can't help putting a skirt. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Can't help putting a skirt on.
And then we need to just bring it up briefly because I know both of us could sit on this topic for hours, but we did see what happened as far as the leaked Supreme Court's draft opinion in regards to overturning Roe versus Wade from 1973, which guaranteed constitutional protection of abortion rights. So at this point in time, nothing has been done, but it is possible that the Roe versus Wade will get overturned by the Supreme Court, which means that abortion rights will not be constitutionally protected, and that there are, I think, 12 states right now that are already have passed laws to, I guess, I don't know if
they're already in state laws of banning abortion and making it illegal for people to get abortions, and people are
Nevada's
getting penalized
not one of
for
them,
traveling.
but
Nevada is not, but they're traveling stateside. Some of them are going out of the states to get it, and then when they're found, they're convicted. There's a lady that's in jail right now, $500,000, I think.
And midterms are coming up too. And if we had a Republican governor, I'm just curious as to how long it would take for something to be changing in Nevada in regards to that too. So it's shocking. If there's been ever a time to continue to vote and women show up to vote, this is it. Continue to put pressure on. We were all born into certain things, and to see something like this being discussed how many years later and possibly overturned it's disgusting. But yeah. What's the game like?
36-38. It's close.
So Miami won.
Yeah, we knew that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
No Joel Embiid, so we know that's gonna be a sweep.
That's tough. Is he going to be out for? I know it's the first two games. Is he going to be continued to be out for a while? Do we think?
I mean, the ocular thing. I think he's done for a while.
Yeah. I think we had touched upon too a little bit with Nikki is that, of course, our well wishes for Brittney Griner and her safe return. The WNBA did state that they were going to be putting floor decals with her initials and number throughout every home court in the WNBA. Of course, she's been there since February, is waiting for court date on May 19th. But the fact that she's still there, and yeah, there's not a lot the WNBA can do. And from one of the former legal advisors for the U.S. Embassy, he said that sometimes in cases like these, it's better off handle low-key approach and to do it through the criminal justice system, because if it gets political, if it gets high profile, that's when the Russian government may want to dig in their position and, make her the pawn in this bigger political picture. Like, okay, you want Brittney? Well, we want to be able to, start trading again or getting, whatever they were cut off from in regards to the Ukraine situation. It's tough. I know that the U.S. government now is starting to work to seeing about negotiating for her return versus letting the legal process play out. They even got, I think there was a military person that had been there for a little while too, and they just got him released in exchange for another Russian guy that was detained here. So we can only hope and pray that hopefully she can get back and returned home before, they have a whole court process out there. It's just, and then the Ace is going there for the first game of the season. This is the first season, and then Mercury. I'm curious to see, what they do there. I don't know.
We'll be able to watch it. No.
Yeah, it'll be on. I don't remember what channel. Yeah,
and we'll see what it is.
Yeah. I just had one really Jugador Loco that I wanted to bring up. One of your Dodgers that had been already suspended, or I guess he was, I don't know, unable to play for the last 9 months. So Trevor Bauer had the highest suspension from the Major League Baseball, 2 full seasons, 324 game ban. He said he's going to appeal it. He's very nonchalant about it. I read a great article about stop giving him attention, because really he takes zero responsibility, has no feelings for what happened with the woman that he had consensual sex with, that also were completely physically abused by him. And hey, I'm all for it. I hope those 2 full seasons stick.
Thing of it is it's not, here's the thing. It's a ban from playing. It's not a ban out of the league. I think that's where people are getting misconstrued. This is a man who is on a timeout for 2 seasons. Okay. He's not excommunicated from the league. What message is it still sending? This man can still play after all of this. Like, to your point, I don't want to give it further attention. The Dodgers are doing amazing without Trevor Bauer. We've been doing amazing when we didn't have him. It's a sad situation that we could not have him, but it's also a maddening situation and a godsend that we don't have him. But the thing of it is he's still, after 2 seasons, what happens after that? And depending on the appeal process, I doubt he will win his appeal, but you're not banned from the league of playing. You're just banned from playing on a team for 2 seasons. Okay. Moving right along.
And then, of course, not that it was really a Jugadores Locos moment, but of course, Draymond
It is a Jugadores Locos moment because it's crazy as heck.
Well, not him. I was going, Oh, no, he is crazy. No, for sure.
Yeah.
And, but I will say this, that there's been not equal, but there's been domestic violence in other leagues like the NFL, and those players are getting suspended for X amount of games, and they're still able to play in the league. So
but I think we need to start have a messaging with MLB. There's too much money in the league. This is the most expensive type of sport. They can afford to let this man go. There should be no apples and oranges to what the NFL does to the MLB. MLB is its own entity where they have trillions of dollars, I feel like, billions of dollars on top of billions to actually have someone really out of the league. You're going to ban Pete Rose. You can ban other players. You can't ban this guy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
You know how that goes. Moving on to some Las Vegas news. So Vegas Golden Knights officially out. Coach DeBoer said that the disappointing season is a fuel for return next year. And I think there's hopefully, pending no major, injuries like we've had this season, that could be the truth. But at the same time, as it seems like there was like a little lackluster in the last part of the season. And I know there's some very disappointed Vegas Golden Knight fans out there, but I'm just curious to what those strictly only hockey fans are doing. Like all those only VJK fans, are you watching the Stanley Cup playoffs right now? Because, those are on. Or is it something else that you're just mad now at the league and you want to turn on? Because I'm not a big Stanley Cup fan watcher unless the Golden Knights are in it. But they, of course, are on now. And they're going through it. Again, we mentioned the ACC season opener. We also have the new lacrosse team officially has a name, Las Vegas Desert Dogs. Yeah, the NLL, the National Lacrosse League. So I got a little more information on this. I thought the season was starting now. This is just the season's just wrapping up. So their season, they'll be playing inside Michelob Ultra Arena. Their season starts in December and will go for 18 games, usually on Friday, Saturday night. So we're going to see 8 home games for them in December, which is pretty cool. So we'll have another team to be cheering for come the winter months. Our Lights, they're not going to be back home until the 14th, but they are 5th in the USL West, which is pretty good for our guys this year. So excited about that. And the hockey fans that are out there, Henderson Silver Knights start their first round of the AHL playoffs. I think they played at 6. So I'm hoping it's the best of 3 series versus Colorado Eagles. Of course, this is our VGK AHL team. So the Henderson Silver Knights, I guess there's still hockey for Vegas fans.
Yeah. I said you still have the Silver Knights out there.
Yes. Me and Mo, we had a great time. The NFL draft represented well in Las Vegas. Your Raiders fans were absolute phenomenal. They were out there. Everybody's fans were out there, and it was an amazing experience. So please, if you're listening to this podcast or listening to this show, make sure you go on over to YouTube, subscribe to Girl Chat Sports, because you want to watch to see just some of me and Mo's highlights. So here you go. Take a look. It was good times. We had a blast. A big shout out to Mr. Tarek Brown for getting us some passes up into the VIP for Caesars Rewards. Shout out to Mike Dixon, who we ran into there. Got some pictures. Shout out to Andre and Jorge. I saw them on day 2. Listen, I couldn't even make it day 3. My feet were exhausted. My feet were sore. Walking around and standing on your feet for 12 hours is just not something my body is with anymore. It was good times. So what was also interesting was that quarterbacks were not a hot topic for the NFL draft. The first quarterback went to the Steelers in the 20th pick. The second quarterback drafted did not go until the 3rd round, number 74. And of course, Malik Willis went to the Titans at number 86 in the 3rd round. So that was just crazy. Also the NFL, the international games were announced today. The Seattle Seahawks are going to Munich, Germany to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I found it interesting that it's DK Metcalf on our poster here. Hopefully he'll sign his contract. But again, this is a Russell-less Seahawks, so we need another face to our team. In addition to those games, we've got London, Saints and Vikings, Packers and Giants, Jaguars and Broncos, all within October. Seattle's games in November. And then there's also the Mexico City game with the Cardinals and the 49ers for Monday Night Football. That could probably be pretty intense too. So, hey, that's what it is. The playoffs, NBA playoffs have been in session. I really didn't watch much of it due to the NFL draft, but I know it's been interesting. Ja Morant, listen, shout out to my mom. Because during game 1 and game 2, she'll text me, who's number 14? What's his name? I go, Mom, it's number 12. His name is Ja Morant. Oh, yeah. Literally had that. She asked me that probably 4 times over the course of 2 days and 2 games. But he, ridiculous. I think, 45, 46 points yesterday's game.
47.
Gosh.
Gary Payton, too, got hurt, though. So
yeah, that's going to be trouble, I think, for the Warriors. Interesting. And then, hopefully Draymond just gets a money fine and there's not any more suspensions, but he was ejected in the game 1.
I watched that game and it was ridiculous.
Terrible.
That was a terrible call. It was not warranting him to get ejected. They just don't like Draymond. That's what they do. I still got Golden State winning this thing. I'm not counting. No discredit to the Memphis Grizzlies because they were number 2 in the league. They actually did. They're doing very well. Yes. They're balling, but the Warriors will always be the Warriors to me, and I just see them kind of again overcoming another adversity situation. And the whole thing with the Gary Payton 2 situation, they are looking into it. The league is looking into it to see what other action they're going to take further to that because they never declared that play as a flagrant. I think they did give him a flagrant 2.
They gave him a flagrant 2 and he ejected
him. And he got ejected. But
because it was the wind up, but he hit him in the head, whereas it caused him to fall, but it was Gary who.
But that was a very aggressive and adrenaline driven hit.
For sure.
There's a lot of weight behind that hit. You forced on physics this man to fall, and now he's got a fractured wrist or a fractured elbow.
I think that I don't know. I'm sure what it is. I know that there was an MRI today, but I don't know how.
Yeah, they said he's out for like 3 weeks. Like, what's that going to do? And GP2 has been very effective coming in off the bench and hustling and stuff. I wish Steve Kerr would play him more, but for what it's worth, he is actually a value to the team. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens when this pans out, because like I said, the league is looking into it, seeing where it's going to go. So it's going to be interesting.
Be interesting. Klay Thompson, he joined Steph and LeBron to be the only NBA players to have his NBA players in history to have 400 career playoff threes, which is a phenomenal feat in its own. But that's Splash Brothers. Splash.
My name is Klay. I'm gonna call him Klay.
Ben Simmons is undergoing back surgery on Thursday, so there's Ben Simmons. I don't know. Maybe that was a cause of his mental health issues. I don't know, but that is so he will be out and apparently back in time for training camp when that should start. So who knows? And here's another little tidbit. Phil Jackson is reported to be working with the LA Lakers in search for their new head coach. I mean, it takes a champion to find a champion, right?
I don't know. Phil's on the other side of age. What's he know
He's
about
got the
today's
Zen
basketball?
Master. The Zen Master
The
is
Zen
gonna
Master.
always.
What's he know about today's basketball? I mean, they're reaching right now.
But he
There's
probably knows good coaching. I don't know.
There's a code of ethics right now out there with the coaches. You don't disrespect a coach like you did. Frank Vogel announced that he's termed without him being termed. No coaches are trying to take this position because they have their own brotherhood and their own code. Yes, it'd be great if you see Phil Jackson being the Zen Master. You might need to partner with Magic to try and see who they can get as far as a coach on that and what the Lakers need. But God forbid if it's Phil Jackson that comes back. Why don't you look into a woman coach? Why don't we look into some other options of a female coaching staff? I mean, maybe we need to probably tie the turn and try something different for this dysfunctional Lakers
or at least
situation. But I wouldn't want any coach on that team anyway. It's still going to be dysfunctional going into the next season. What are we doing with Russell Westbrook? What are we doing with some of the old heads that we have right now? Like, where's Dwight Howard going to be signed again? Like, we're a mess. And who wants to take on that mess? You understand what I'm saying? So I think it's just going to be a very interesting type of situation on how to recruit for that team. Because they got a lot of problems.
Yeah.
So Jay, calm down. Jeez. Jay Crowder getting into it with Nurkic. they going at it. It's a tumble because now Dallas Mavericks are up. When you go up in points and it's a Phoenix home game. I mean, it's 51-49. Things get chippy.
The Valley.
Yeah, things
boy.
They get chippy.
So the Seattle Mariners assisted in helping Dusty Baker become the 12th manager in Major League Baseball history, as well as the first Black manager to win 2,000 games, because Seattle has lost all 3 games against them this series, again, as well as I think 1 or 2 in the first series we had with them. So, hey, you're welcome. But good for Dusty Baker. It's an amazing accomplishment. Legend. I think this was hilarious. So during the Rockies Nationals game on Tuesday, I don't know what was going on with the billboard guy, the board operator. Maybe he's going through a breakup. Maybe he had a bad Tinder date. We're not sure. But he put this in the Jumbotron. Game notes, life pro tip. Don't put up with anyone who is reckless with your heart. Life will be dramatically better if you don't pay mind to any heartbreaker. Unless it's like a Pat Benatar song, or maybe the Mariah Carey song, or the Led Zeppelin song. So to sum it up, songs from heartbreak are okay. Real life heartbreak, tell them to scram.
So love is a battlefield. Heartbreaker, you got the best of me. And what's the other artist?
You said Mariah Carey. I don't know which one.
Well, that's a Heartbreaker. You got the best of me, but Love is a Battlefield is Pat Benatar. What's the other artist he mentioned?
He mentioned Led Zeppelin.
Okay. Maybe it's I don't know if they did Heartbreak Hotel. No. I don't know what song they got.
So he was going through his emotions, feeling a little bit, emotional. Maybe had a breakup or had someone playing with his heart, and decided to make that announcement. Little life tip for the fans there.
Hey, that's good. Sometimes you need that in life. I mean, he doesn't do anything for the game, but it's very interesting that he decided to put his feelings out there.
Put out there for all to see.
Yeah.
We all had seen yesterday in the Blue Jays Yankees game. There was a little kid. Aaron Judge hit a home run. The Blue Jays fan caught it in the upper deck and gave it to the little kid behind him, who instantly grabbed him, started crying, and was super happy. Well, today, that boy and the Blue Jays fan who gave him the ball got a special surprise. It's so cute.
Oh, they got to meet Aaron Judge.
So cute? Again, if you're listening to the podcast, not watching, get onto YouTube, because the
act
video's
of human kindness and humanity always prevails.
That so boy, and then at one point, Aaron Judge was like, I think he was saying, who's your favorite player? And the kid turns around and was like, and it was 99 Judge.
Of course.
Like, of course.
That's all they got. They need that.
So
that's all he got over there in Yankee land.
And they're still doing well. I mean, both New York teams are really coming up at this point. Your Dodgers are doing great.
Well, we knew that. That's going to be apparent. We already knew that. No need for an announcement on that. We knew we were going to be in the power rankings.
You had that big money. Yeah, guys got big
Freddie Freeman.
Money,
hello. Shoot, we doing all right. Kershaw having strikeouts. Look, we good.
So there was also an article I posted to our Girl Chat Sports group on Facebook about the ball itself has changed this season. And it seems that home runs have lowered, batting averages are lower, everything is lower this season, and people are wondering why. And there's actually a real change to the ball. It's 2.8 grams lighter, and that all teams, I guess prior to this year, only 10 teams used humidors to store the baseballs. I guess it standardizes the amount of water that's in and around the ball. Well, this year, all teams are using it. So between that, this, and a couple other different changes, has made for what we're seeing now is that, there's not these high, huge scoring games anymore. There's not major home runs being hit every game. Usually by now there's I can't remember the percentage, but it's all gone down. Interesting. Maybe that means bet the unders in games. I'm not sure, but yeah, definitely didn't. I don't know. I need to check, but there's
that's what I meant, not Nurkic.
Oh, there is a huge game happening in Seattle right now for the Sounders. It's like the biggest game in MLS history. So the Seattle Sounders are facing Pumas UNAM, a Mexico City-based Liga MX squad. So 67,000 fans are expected to pack Lumen Field for this CONCACAF Champions League final. It's huge. And I need to try and figure out where they're at right now. Up 1-0 at halftime.
Okay.
If they win this will be the first time an MLS team has won this championship league.
Okay.
So it's pretty amazing. Can't wait. We're running. We got to wrap this up. But I did want to shout out to Girl Power. Listen, Kelsey Whitmore, which breaking news just dropped too. So not only did she become the first woman to start in the Atlantic League game on Sunday, she played left field, batted ninth for the Staten Island Fairy Hawks. She also became history today when she was the first woman to pitch in the Atlantic League. So this is kind of like a lower league from like the MILB. So it's not an MLB affiliate league, but they're connected and partnered with the MLB. 23 years old, played softball for Cal Fullerton, played for the USA women's baseball team.
Wow.
Listen, history is being made, and history
Her
is happening
story
all over the place for sure. Big facts. For some sneaker drops. Because
that's you.
Drop time.
Go ahead and do it. Drop them sneakers. Let's
all
see
right,
the kicks
so
on fire.
On Cinco de Mayo tomorrow, the women's Dunk Lows patchwork, aka Safari Mix, these drop tomorrow. So make sure you check them out. I think it's kind of it's a bold. I think it's fun. The whole Dunks Lows are super hot. Like you mentioned before, they're selling them everywhere. These are coming out tomorrow. The Air Jordan 9s, the chili red, come out on the 7th. What I didn't realize until recently is that the Air Jordan 9 came out because Jordan had just switched from basketball to baseball. So hence the little difference in more of maybe a baseball style, I guess, of a shoe than basketball. But the 9s have always been ugly to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why you even put those up in there, but okay.
Just because,
Keep going.
You ain't heard of a 9 being.
You really didn't have to.
I didn't have to do these ones either, but I gotta show people that these are just out there.
You didn't have to do those either. You didn't have to do those either.
Adidas Yeezys 450, the Sulfurs are coming out on the 7th.
Gosh.
I had to get the above view look because look what it looks like from the top. I mean, it's just.
You didn't have to show those either.
Oh, they're so terrible.
So many sneakers out there in the world now. You didn't have to show those or those ugly 9s. No one's wearing 9s.
I just thought it was hilarious.
And I haven't even seen anybody where I dare somebody. Well, I have seen some people wear those Yeezys in the black, but it just doesn't make any sense.
I've seen them out in there's like a khaki color. I've seen them. They're just
I don't know.
So these are the Air Jordan 6s, the Midnight Navies. They come out on the 11th. So this colorway has not been seen for about 20 years. The original retro Midnight Navy was first released in 2000. So these are a little bit rare, but it's returning on May 11th. Now, here's one that I actually really do like. I know it's a mid, so you're not exactly thrilled, but these are the Jordan 1 mid braids. So these are out on May 11th. But because what's so crazy, they're the carbon copy of the original breeds the color blocking. So, but it has this gloss print. If you see the right picture, it has black and it has red on the respective leather parts of the shoe. And the midsole itself has the black and red equals bread. So
those are fire.
Yeah, I like them. They're real nice. Let's see what else we got. We've got the Air Jordan 11 lows. This is the 7210, of course. You know, the 7210 game for Michael Jordan, or 7210 season for Michael Jordan. These come out on May 14th. The tongue, as you see on the right, is embroidered tag that says, inspired by the most historic season led by the greatest player ever. So this is obviously where Michael Jordan won 72 games and the title, wearing the AJ11s back then. So
he's just going to keep getting bread and keep getting bread and keep getting bread. Boy,
it's never going to stop.
It's never going to stop, is it?
And this is what Magic could have been doing if he would have signed with Nike way back.
I mean, my goodness.
Day.
I mean, just the fact that this is still going on 20 years later, we still have these.
Non-stop. The women's, the Air Jordan 3. This is the dark mocha, aka the I can't even say Neapolitan. Was that Neapolitan ice cream? Like the Neapolitan? So there's like a brown Neapolitan.
It's not Neapolitan. Yeah. I'm making fun of you.
What is it?
It's Neapolitan.
I don't know. I never liked that flavor of ice cream.
I only used to do the strawberry on it. Strawberry, chocolate, and vanilla. So basically, these are the strawberry, chocolate, vanilla threes.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is it. Yep.
Gotcha. All right.
And then, of course, these already got released on May 1st.
Right.
So the Kobe 6 Protro, the Mamba City Sweet 16. So obviously these were honoring the legacy of Kobe and Gigi Bryant. So these were only released via exclusive access in the sneakers app, and pairs were only available to people, members living in LA, that were sneaker pass reservations that they got.
Of course.
We didn't get
it's celebrating her Sweet 16. That's what it is. She'd be 16 years old. So those are the Sweet 16 Nike Prontos. Kobe's.
Wow.
They're not Protos, they're Prontos. But they are fire, and I would love to have them. And sadly, could not get those.
Maybe I wonder if they're
beautiful.
On StockX.
Was it gonna be on StockX? Are you kidding me? I'm not paying that.
A lot. I also wanted to shout out All Pro Digital. Me and Mo will be working with the All Pro Digital team. So stay tuned for future work with All Pro Digital. Hey, you guys, great show. Happy 4th.
May the 4th be with you, all of my Star Wars fans, my Raider
Happy
fans.
Cinco de Mayo. All the
Cinco de Mayo
tomorrow. To eat tomorrow.
Yes.
Whew. Yes. And thank you again to Nikki Fargas.
Yes.
Nikki Fargas, as well as Las Vegas Aces. Get your listen, $10 a seat. If that ain't a cheap date, I don't know what is.
Come on, inexpensive date. I won't call it cheap. I'll say an inexpensive, valuable date.
A valuable. That's what I'm saying. Like,
it's a great day to go and get those. That's amazing, and the fact that they lowered those prices,
for sure. But we appreciate everybody that's tuned in. We thank you, and of course, we'll see you next Wednesday. All right, take care. Bye.